for the Super Mario Party Jamboree review for the Nintendo Switch. I couldn't believe it when I saw we were getting a third Mario Party title for the Switch back when it was announced in Nintendo's June Direct and was one of the games I was most anticipating. So without further ado, let's see if this game was worth my initial hype. The main theme of this round of Mario Party is set on various islands, each one holding a different gameplay experience for the player. Bowser actually becomes a playable character to choose from, so Kamek transforms a regular minion into Imposter Bowser, which he'll come into play a bit later. Let's first begin with the playable boards. You'll initially begin with 4, but at the risk of potentially spoiling it, there are 3 other boards you can unlock for a total of 7. Hooray for math! This is about the amount I was hoping for in Super Mario Party. Honestly, I would have been happy with 6, but 7 is even better. If you're new to the Mario Party scene, it's basically a video game board game. The main goal of each board is to obtain the most stars by the end of the match. Stars are mainly purchased, but players can also steal them from other players in certain circumstances, and also be awarded with bonus stars at the end of the match if you're lucky enough. As for the boards themselves, I'll go over each one briefly and talk about their gimmicks. Each board has a 1 to 5 star difficulty rating, and Mega Wiggler's Tree Party is one of the easiest to play. Here, players must carefully move around and on Mega Wiggler without getting on his bad side. He can move around the pit he's in, and this will change up the routes you can take, which, depending on the star's location, can be a good or bad thing. Next up is one of my personal favorites, Rainbow Galleria, a large shopping mall with multiple different routes and surprises along the way. Elevators and escalators must be used wisely in order to reach the star on one of the 3 shopping levels. A lucrative side quest, if you will, is to get your stamp card stamped by specific booths around the mall, and if you can turn all of them in at once, you'll be rewarded with 50 coins. There's a good amount of route strategies on this board, which makes it one of my favorites. Roll'em Raceway changes traditional board gameplay quite a bit, in that all players race around a track trying to collect stars. Unlike most boards, when a star is purchased, instead of popping up in a new random location, it'll switch to a dedicated spot on the other track. When it's purchased here, it will revert back to its original location and rinse and repeat. The race car theme isn't purely aesthetics, as the board rewards— Ugh! Did you see that? Oh, that's so discomforting. Ugh. Anyway, players are rewarded with more and more coins every time they complete a full lap. To help with this, one new item is the Turbo Dice, which allows a player to roll a staggering 4 dice at once, but the catch is that your character won't stop for anything except when at a split in the road. Use it wisely, as it won't even stop to let you get a star. Goomba Lagoon is next on the list, and it's also one of my favorites. Don't get too comfortable on this seemingly tropical paradise, because if the volcano explodes, you could be losing coins left and right as you step on lava bubbles as you proceed through. If luck is on your side though, it could rain golden Goombas, where you'll gain 5 coins for each one you encounter. This board can be quite tricky with the high tide as well, potentially leaving players stranded until it dies down. Player transport items can be crucial on this map, including a regular warp pipe that will move a player to a random location. Western Land from Mario Party 2 returns, in HD no less. Need a quick ride to a different part of the map? Get a first-class ticket on the train and ride in style. Be careful you're not caught on the tracks while it's moving though, or else be prepared to go back to the beginning of the map. This board wouldn't be a hootenanny without screwing over the other players to force them to come join you for a drink at the milk saloon. Dang it, Red. The second to last board is one of my childhood favorites. From the first Mario Party game on the N64, Mario's Rainbow Castle is one of the unique boards where the star's location doesn't change after it's purchased. That's not the only gimmick, as the other is triggering a special event which will cause the bright and beautiful area to turn dark and depressing, especially if you reach the star in this state. Doing so will get you a one-on-one interview with Imposter Bowser, where you'll be forced to purchase a Zetar, which is worth nothing. Using movement and dice items wisely on this board is key. The last board is King Bowser's Keep, Imposter Bowser's secret base, and chock full of traps. If you're lucky enough to not land on a Bowser space, which the number of these spaces grow throughout the match, you'll have to roll high enough dice numbers to not lose your coins to Mecha Koopas. One of my favorite gimmicks of this board is you can steal all the coins and stars Imposter Bowser has taken in the match for yourself, if you can get by his guard and correctly guess the combination to the gate holding it all. The odds of winning or losing can quickly flip on this board. The title of this game references one of the most prominent gimmicks. Jamboree refers to the Jamboree buddies that appear on the board every once in a while. When a player reaches one of these characters, all 4 players will compete in a special event, which is either one or multiple unique mini-games to see who wins the Jamboree buddy. The events are unique in that they're only available to play based on who the Jamboree Buddy is. So, what does having a Jamboree Buddy do? Well, just like the respective events, it depends on who you have. Peach will allow you to purchase stars at half price, Wario gives you 3 to 8 coins at the start of your turn, and Donkey Kong can launch you to a random location on the map before you roll the dice if you so choose. Other buddies do different things, but what they all have in common is whoever they're with, most of the time if that player triggers an event upon themselves, the event is performed a second time. Land on a lucky space, you get 2 lucky space rolls. Get to a star, you can buy 2 at once if you have enough coins. Doubling up on events isn't immune to negative happenings though. Land on a Bowser space? Ugh, I feel sorry for you. Having a Jamboree Buddy is usually a good thing, but don't throw caution to the wind if you have one. One problem I have with Jamboree Buddies is how easy it is to steal one away from another player. I mean, the event you compete in takes a long time relative to any other minigame. You put in so much work and effort, but if someone just passes you while you have them, they will ditch you for the other. Jamboree Buddies will only hang out with players on the board for 3 turns once someone wins them, so if they do transfer to someone else, it's only for a limited time, but still. They will also go away if no one passes them within the 3 turns after they appear. Graphically, the game looks just as good as the previous 2 Mario Party Switch titles, which isn't a bad thing. It's that same good old Mario style we're all accustomed to. The controls are the same way. When on the board, it's mostly selecting through menus, and the minigames are easy for most to pick up and play. Motion-controlled minigames are available, but I'm glad we have the option to turn them off before starting, as you must use a Joy-Con to play them. There are other various playable modes, such as a rhythm section, that felt like a WarioWare and Rhythm Heaven fusion. These were fun, but quite difficult to master. Another mode that is best played online is Koopathlon, where you and 19 other players compete in a race around a track. Moving around the track is accomplished by collecting coins throughout 3 predetermined special minigames. Every coin you obtain will move you 1 space on the track. The top 3 players get to stand victorious on pedestals, while the remaining 17 try to finish the best they can. This mode is really fun, and much more than I initially thought it would be. The other mode where it's made to be played online is Bowser Kaboom Squad, where the goal is to work together with others to take down Imposter Bowser. Doing so requires good cooperative mini-gameplay to receive items to help everyone on the battlefield. This mode is fun, but I think I like this one better. You can of course play online matches on the regular Mario Party boards, but unfortunately finding people who won't quit at the start or in the middle of a match is difficult. The computer takes over if this happens, and if so, it's like, what's the point in even playing online? Thankfully, the AI doesn't play stupidly when set on a high difficulty, at least when they're not on your team. That's another story. For the most part though, they can be quite challenging seeing how they use items strategically on the boards and play nearly perfectly on the minigames. Unless they're on your team.
Bruh.
When you complete a match, locally or online, you'll receive achievements if certain criteria was met, and these achievements act as XP which can unlock new things. You'll also receive points which you can use to exchange for items like stickers, music, and reactions. Speaking of reactions, Nintendo thankfully limited players in when they can use reactions. This helped alleviate spam, but I didn't like that you couldn't perform a reaction when it was your turn. There's more I could talk about, such as the other various game modes to play, but I only wanted to cover key points and elements. This Mario Party Switch title has more to offer than the previous 2, with 7 boards being the main positive note, and the 2 dedicated online modes are fun too. I do wish there were more Jamboree Buddies, and honestly, I first thought all characters were Jamboree Buddies, but no, this isn't the case. I also wish you were able to set the amount of bonus stars you wanted, rather than having a fixed number. I think the most disappointing feature was how obtaining a Jamboree Buddy works. Seriously, instead of receiving a buddy if you pass them, you play an event that takes quite a while to complete, and you only get them if you win. But then, someone could steal them away on the next turn just because they pass you. I don't know, I feel like if you put in the work to win them, you should get them for the duration they stay. Overall, this is a great addition to the Mario Party library, and in terms of overall quantity, I can't think of another one that offers you more. Even though I'm quite satisfied with how much content we got, I'm always hopeful for some quality DLC to take it even further. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
Congratulations!